Hey, I'm Matt Van Schoik. Welcome back to Beyond the Wad. I'm going to do an episode takeover here because we are going to learn all about Molly Kubo. So Molly is member, coach, person behind all things, I feel like, here at the gym. She's like, dude, come on. You do all like it, all the whiteboard stuff. Like you help us out with all of the programming. You are like the total back end. Like this show is not happening without you. That's 100% for sure. So, yeah, you do a lot more around the gym, I think, than you give yourself credit for.
No, well, thank you.
So I think I'm definitely not prepared for this podcast, just like I'm not prepared for any podcast that we do. So let's go back in the Wayback Machine.
Yeah.
Talk to me about like your health fitness background, like before CrossFit.
Yeah. So before CrossFit, it's kind of been all over the place. So growing up, I didn't play sports growing up. I know we've talked about that in a previous episode. Like I was more into the arts and things like that. So
You're a nerd.
I was a nerd. I still am a nerd. Guitar, piano lessons, music theory, took art classes, that whole thing, but never really played sports except for volleyball in middle school. But
have you ever seen the movie She's All That?
A long time.
You know who I'm talking about? You don't know what I'm talking about? Man, I think I'm just a generation ahead of you, maybe. But when you're talking about being the art girl, it's the girl Lainey Boggs from She's All That is what like the immediate picture that I had in my head when you were talking about that, the high school art chick.
So yeah, so that was me. But when I was in high school, so my sister was actually the chief. She was the COO of the Y in Champaign. So she was also in charge of all of their group fitness. So they did Les Mills. So it was like...
What is Les Mills?
I'm not the one to ask. So basically...
Like
kind of like...
workout videos?
Yeah, kind of. It was like a workout program. So they were sponsored by Reebok.
Oh.
And it was like Body Attack was their version of functional fitness. And it was all just high intensity interval training.
Set the scene for me here. So is this like a class that you're showing up to?
Yes. So she ran all the group fitness classes. Okay. So there was Body Attack, which was high intensity interval training.
So you walk in the door to the Body Attack class, and your sister is there.
She's the lead.
Is she like?
Coach.
Does she like hit play on a video, or is she like?
No, she leads it. She coaches it. They have them mic'd up, and it's like this big party. And she does the workout with you, but like coaches you at the same time. I don't know how people do that. It's wild.
I see. I've never done. I've never been a part of any kind of group fit. Like is like Zumba type.
So they had Zumba classes, but this was like. So did you ever? So oh my gosh, I can't think of it. So Sean T he had like T25. He had
Tae Bo.
Yeah.
We did Tae Bo in PE.
So
it was awesome.
It's kind of similar. They had Insanity. Was one of
Insanity.
I
did all of the thing of Insanity.
So Insanity, imagine Insanity, but live.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's what it was.
Okay.
And then they had Body Pump, which was, they got out barbells, except they were like not very long and definitely didn't weigh 45 pounds.
Yeah, okay.
But it was like cardio, but with barbells, but you do it to songs.
Yeah.
And so each song was like not a different workout, but like a different set.
Man, that's crazy because right before I got into CrossFit, I did Insanity. Mm-hmm. Like that was
and like P90X.
It was like my bridge into it.
Yeah. So Insanity, P90X, like I did those. So again, it was that just live. And a lot of like Insanity was one of the classes that she ran.
Okay. Gotcha.
So that kind of, now that you have that in your head.
Did. Man, I just couldn't wrap my head around how that was going down.
Yeah. Okay. So I went to a lot of those classes, like dove in head first. I would go to maybe 2 or 3 of those a day, which...
A day?
Yeah, which not recommended. Not
Wait a minute.
Good.
Hang on.
Not good.
So I went through 90 days of Insanity, 1 workout a day, and I remember like I would get done with those and be like wrecked.
Oh yeah, like there was a lot of throwing up happening.
Doing 3 of those a day?
Yeah, like I got really into it, and I was always at the Y with my sister, and so she wanted me to become a coach. So she kind of started mentoring me a little bit in this Les Mills program to start doing it, because she was also at this point, She was an ambassador for Reebok and was traveling all over the country doing these shows where they would do these live recordings of like Insanity and T25 and stuff like that. And so she got me involved in doing some of that. And I used to, before CrossFit, I would have said like, oh yeah, that was the best shape I've ever been in my entire life. Well, now looking back, no, I was not fueling my body well. I was taking way too many of these classes a day, and it was all just like high intensity cardio.
Yeah.
And I was a cardio bunny, 100%.
How old were you here?
At this point, it was probably when I was like 16, 17, 18.
Okay, so you're still in high school.
Yeah.
Doing this stuff. Okay.
Yep.
Is it okay if I ask how old you are today?
Yeah, 28.
Okay, 28. Just you're still a pup. I feel like such an old man all the time in the gym. Like I'm getting ready to turn 42 and y'all are still in your 20s. Like I remember my 20s and how awesome life was. Like I felt amazing when I was 28. At 42, man, like time takes its toll, bro.
It's funny. Like I have always felt young until we had Maddie as a coach and until like Reese coming in. And now I'm like, oh man, okay, people my age. Oh no, they are not my age. They're like almost 10 years younger.
They're like teenagers.
And it makes me feel really old.
Yeah, for real. Okay. Now that we'll get off that tangent. Okay, so we've gone to high school, or we're in high school. You're doing all of the crazy workout video things. What happens next?
So what happened next is I went to college and everything stopped.
Okay. I feel like that's a really typical.
Yeah. So the whole stereotypical freshman 15. Yeah, I was like the freshman 25, but yeah, everything kind of stopped. I went to the gym a little bit here and there, but again, it was I never learned how to work out.
Yeah.
It was running. You either ran on the treadmill, if you used dumbbells, it was like, so the 5-pounders.
So without your DVDs or your
without that instructor there, it was kind of like I don't know what to do. And going back to, it's funny. Looking back, the coaching, nothing against my sister or Les Mills, but it wasn't coaching. It was just group facilitation.
Okay. So, I mean, let's make that distinction now. So you said it's group facilitation.
Facilitating? Is facilitation even a word? I don't know.
We can make up
it
whatever
is one
word.
now.
Yeah, it's a word if we use it. So what would you say is the difference between what you were doing with Insanity or Les Mills or whatever these workout programs that you were doing and what you do as a coach today?
So I would say the big difference is those were more of like just getting people to move, very little external factors. So, I mean, body pump, the one class that had weights that you did add in. Otherwise, I mean, at most, any external equipment was like maybe a step.
Okay.
For step ups and things like that. So all body weight movements. So
there's nothing wrong with body weight movements.
Low barrier to entry and also low chance of somebody really getting hurt.
Yeah.
And you could tell that was absolutely by design because there was never any real coaching happening. So to me, the difference was, hey, we're in here. We're going to keep it high energy. I'm going to show you what to do. As I'm doing it, you're going to jump in and start doing the same thing. And I'm going to essentially be a mirror for you.
So we're doing jumping jacks together at the same time.
Correct.
Me as the coach and you as the...
Correct. The attendee. Yeah. But I'm never going to teach you how to properly do a jumping jack or do a squat.
You're just saying, watch me do like I do.
Yes. Correct. Okay. Correct. So squats, for example, I thought I was really good at squatting until I walked in here. Yeah. And the whole premise of your hip crease goes below your knees, that chest stays upright. That was never on the radar. It was just, we're going to squat down and we're going to stand up. And whatever those squats looked like, that was acceptable. So there was also never really a standard that was being held. It was more of, we're just in here to move and sweat. Yeah.
So, I mean, is that where you see the difference in coaching or as a coach? Like when you're delivering a class, when you're coaching a class on the floor, like you're looking for standards, movement standards, points of performance to make sure that people are moving through good full ranges of motion.
Yeah.
What do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I'm, as a coach now on this side of it, I'm here to not only make sure that people are moving safely first and foremost, but also that I am holding them to a standard. whether that's the full range of motion, whether that's the points of performance. So points of performance, for example, like in an air squat, a point of performance would be, keeping your heels down, keeping your weight in your heels, or your knees tracking over your toes. So knees aren't caving in. And while there's a lot of reasons for that, being held to that high standard so that we're moving well is going to translate in a lot of other areas versus I'm going to do the squats with you and we're going to go through this together. And so it was also impossible for any coaching to really happen in those classes because whoever was coaching it was also doing the workout.
And they couldn't give you feedback.
No, there was no time. And also, it's not like you can pause a song and the movements that we're doing are on beat.
Yeah.
So you couldn't pause a song and stop and say, okay, hold on. Let's go down 2 inches. Okay, pause, drive your knees out, lift your chest. Okay, 2 inches more. That wasn't happening.
So then there are standards that you're looking for now and feedback that you're giving to the person that you're coaching.
Oh, yeah.
And those are two big differences between the body, what was it? Body pump?
Body attack.
Body attack
the main one
class
we did.
and what you're doing now?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're in college.
Yes.
You have discovered a whole new life.
Yes.
And
not necessarily the best life,
and
but a whole new world.
Well, but I don't know. That's funny. I don't know that the way that I wouldn't call exercising 3 times a day and whatever else it is that you were doing healthy either.
No.
So like you went from one extreme where you're like, if I don't do this, then I'm not doing anything.
Yes.
To really kind of falling away from all of that altogether.
So I had a lot of disordered eating going on. And it's funny, looking back, I can look back and say like, oh yeah, I had an eating disorder. At the time, didn't think I had an eating disorder.
I don't think anyone that does.
In the moment, they're like, oh yeah, I have a problem. In high school, it was heavy workouts or a lot of workouts, high intensity, and then not fueling my body at all. Yeah. I remember, there were times I broke my nose once passing out because I was so underfueled.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. Literally just face planted into concrete and fractured the top part of my nose.
Okay.
So, that just shows you so fast forward. And then in college, poor eating habits continued, which I think is fairly typical in college, but it was exacerbated by the fact that I also didn't know. So I never knew really how to fuel my body, and also I didn't know how to work out.
Right.
So all of a sudden started gaining weight, and that freaked me out. So I went to the other end of the spectrum and just didn't really eat very much, or the food that I did eat was not quality and it was in very small quantities. Mix that in with a whole lot of alcohol and you have a recipe for not so great anything.
So did you gain weight in college?
I gained a little bit my freshman year, and then I was so freaked out by that I went to the extreme opposite side and ended up losing all of it and then some.
Okay.
So
you coming out of high school, were you happy with your body?
No. I was never happy with my body. Coming out of high school, I was pretty thin. I didn't think I was thin, but I was pretty thin. I'm 5'2". The lowest I got to in high school was 85 pounds, and that was not good.
What?
Not good. Yeah. I was looking back again, anorexic, bulimic, and then left for college, put on some weight in college. The heaviest I got in college was 120, and that freaked me out. So started dialing everything back. And I think sophomore year, I hovered right around that 110, 115. And I was quote unquote happy with that. But if you asked me to pick something up, I couldn't without starting to black out.
Man, that I have such a hard time with this. And I think you and I have talked about this before, but I do not, it doesn't compute in my head. Because Lindsay went through something just crazy similar, and it just doesn't compute in my head how you could be that small and that I just imagine when I think about Lindsay, I think about how frail she must have been, and just how incapable, and I just can't wrap my head around where your mind and your heart has to be to take yourself to that place.
And to think that that's acceptable.
Yeah.
in any way, shape, or form, or to look in the mirror and be so brainwashed into thinking that that's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I think there is a little bit of a male-female difference there, too.
There has to be, because it just, like I said, it just does not work out in my head.
Yeah. So extremely unhealthy. And then when I left college, total opposite. So I was no longer around the alcohol. I wasn't partying when I left college. And it was almost like I needed to fill that void with something else. And so it became food. So still had disordered eating, just on the opposite side. And where before I was not eating, now I was binging.
Yeah.
So left Butler. And I would say in the span of, 17, 18, 19, 20. I would say in the span of 3 years, I put on 90 pounds. Probably about 90 pounds. So.
Wow. So wow.
So I was like, you want to talk about like the yo-yo? Like I've been on both sides of it.
Yeah. Now that, like, I have a lot of thoughts going through my head right now, but that gaining weight to me, like that big weight gain, makes way more sense to me than that huge weight
loss.
Yeah. I mean, particularly in the world that we live in today, where it's just so easy and convenient to be able to like go and hit a drive-through, and we're all really busy, right? Like everybody has a lot going on in their life. So the convenience factor of being able to call and order a pizza and pick it up on the way home, or whatever. Like that makes sense to me.
And it was so sneaky when it happened. Happened over the course of 3 years. But it was so sneaky when it happened because I didn't feel like I was changing my eating habits that much. I was eating a lot more, but I was eating the same foods. But the other big difference was I took my first 9-to-5 job. So I wasn't walking to class anymore. I wasn't walking around constantly. I wasn't getting, 30,000 steps a day. Instead, I was sitting at a desk from about 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. And then I'd go home and sit on the couch. So that sedentary lifestyle it came in full force.
Yeah. And then all of the little sneaky little snacks that come in. And
and people bringing in goods into the office, and
and then I would imagine that there's a new different type of stress now that you're starting to experience, and maybe not quite sure how to manage that stress. And I mean, that has an impact on weight gain. Also.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I went from being this college kid to being, quote unquote, this responsible adult, and I didn't know how to handle that.
I feel like this is the right time to like go in and pick your brain a little bit on the emotional side. So in high school, you're doing 3 workouts a day. And you're like hyper focused on like, my body must look like this. In college, you stopped doing all of the workouts, but you still were like in this place where in your brain, you're like, my body needs to look like this. Where do you think that comes from? Like, where does that like, who, I feel like you're trying to please someone, or there's like there's a source for this like guilt or this discomfort or something that you're feeling. And it started early.
Yeah. So growing up, I had a lot of body image issues. I mean, shocker, as we're talking about this stuff. And growing up, I was a chubby kid, and I remember so vividly when I had these 3 friends that told me I couldn't play with them because I was too fat. And this was in like first grade.
I was a chubby kid too.
Let's go.
So I remember getting called fat boy on the basketball.
Look at us now.
Oh, yeah, right.
I was so upset when I missed my high school reunion. So I was like, I just want them to see me now. No, but. So I had a lot of body image issues, and it was this constant idea of I've got to look good for other people. And then that became, I dated a guy once that told me that if I gained any weight that I wouldn't be attractive. And so there was just a lot of that. All the popular girls in school were stick skinny.
Yeah.
And I was never naturally that thin, lean girl, and I didn't play sports or anything. And so I felt like I had to overcompensate.
So is it wrong for me to say that you were like, there was approval?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
100%.
So this is what I was trying to get to. I think that a lot of people deal with that. Like they are at the root of their issue, there's this approval that they are
approval.
seeking, right? And I just want whoever is listening to this, whoever's watching this, to know that you don't have anything to prove to anyone other than God. And he is the only approval that you need, and he already approves. And he made you the way that you are because that's how he wanted you to be. You are designed to be that way. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't work on ourselves. It doesn't mean that we don't constantly try to get better, right? Like, if you are overweight, God did not design you to be overweight, okay? But he did give you this body, and he made you the person that you are. So I think we get really lost with all of the social media and all of these outside influences in who we are, where we come from. And I just want to make sure that we are talking about those things and really rooting people in identity and who they are and who they were created by. I don't know. Do you have anything?
No, I mean, I wholeheartedly agree. And it took me a long time to start to figure that out. And I still struggle with that.
Yeah.
Admittedly, like, full transparency, that's still something that I battle with every day. Now it's gotten a lot better. And that voice in my head, Satan, telling me that I do still have something to prove, it's gotten a lot quieter, but it's still there.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I think that's, it takes a lot of practice to learn to manage and negotiate, or not negotiate, but navigate those voices that are in your head. So yeah. Okay. So we've got our first full-time job.
Yep. First full-time job, got married, suddenly had another person living with me that now it was like it wasn't just me anymore.
Who is, by the way, the sweetest man.
Yes. Sweetest, most.
Like, shout out Clint Kubo.
Shout out Clint. He's also, you say I'm the one behind the podcast. He's also a very big.
He's the one behind the one?
Yeah, he's the one behind the one. He's Clint's the one awesome. That puts it together.
I love that guy.
Yeah, Clint, if you're listening to this.
We love you, buddy.
So, yeah, Clint and I get married, and we just have horrible, horrible eating habits. I mean, he grew up with not the greatest eating habits and nutritional background either, but we were both just really comfortable. And so I think the heaviest I got to was like 205. And which, again, for being 5'2".
Well, I think we've gone from, in the span of this story,
we've gotten from one end to the other.
We've gone from 85, I think is what you said, 85 pounds to 205.
Yeah, 205.
So you gained a whole nother Molly, like plus a little bit.
Plus some, yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. That's a big swing.
Yeah. And so you think about the damage that does to your body. And man, this could be a whole other episode. The fact that I went to doctors for a lot of things that were going on, and never once, not once, did I ever have a provider say anything to me about my nutrition, eating habits, or lifestyle choices. And I mean, here's somebody 5'2" walking in. So what is that? A BMI of like 35, 36, and nothing is said about that.
Yeah.
And that's wild.
Yeah. So, I mean, did you have any medical, I mean, I don't want you to disclose your medical records here, but like, was there anything, like, was your blood pressure high? Were you borderline?
Oh my gosh. Yes. So rewind.
Yeah.
I was put on birth control when I was 12.
Okay.
Because I had a lot of digestive issues and they could never fully diagnose it. And so they just chalked it up to it being either PCOS or suspected endometriosis. So I'm put on birth control at 12, which is wild.
Yep.
And
imagine what that does to your hormones.
Yeah. Right. And side note, it wasn't even until, can you tell I'm like worked up about
come on, give it to us. Let's go.
It wasn't until maybe 2 years ago that it was even introduced to me that, hey, that's not normal.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't be on birth control at, number one, at 12, and then you shouldn't be on it for 14 years.
There are other ways to prevent pregnancy.
Yeah. And there's other ways to treat the symptoms that they were trying to treat with it. Because the reason I was on it wasn't so much as a contraceptive. It was on it because of suspected gut health issues.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So there's that. And then I was put on So fast forward, when I started gaining a lot of weight, my blood pressure was high. My blood sugar was out of control. And here's the other wild thing is I had blood work done because I felt like garbage, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like garbage. And so all these times when they would do blood work, well, everything is within normal ranges.
Yeah.
Right? Normal.
Yeah. Yeah, we struggle with that a lot.
It's America.
Yeah.
Normal is not healthy.
Well, the problem is that in Western medicine, the normal ranges have gotten wider and wider and wider and wider. And I mean, normal is not normal anymore. I mean, I don't have the numbers on this, and this would be something for us to bring Lindsay in and have her talk about. But I would be interested to know what normal was 50 years ago, what normal ranges were versus now, which is why when we're doing blood work, because we do blood work, we do blood work here in the gym. We can do those things because we have Lindsay who can help us out, and that's a lot of what she does with Rejuvenating Health. She starts everyone with blood work stuff, and she targets optimal ranges rather than normal ranges, which makes a huge difference in how these
huge difference. So I was put on. So then I ended up having my daughter. Got pregnant after being told that I would never get pregnant. Got pregnant with my daughter, had her, and they kept me on birth control after that. They changed it to progesterone only. And then to help with like hormones, I guess. And I was still having gut health issues. None of that ever got resolved. And then I was put on a prescription medication for heartburn at like 25 years old. I was like 25 going on 95. So I had Tums in every room in the house. I would carry a bag of Tums with me everywhere I went. Like, I mean, just wild.
Yeah.
So crazy.
I mean, how many women out there are dealing with
like the similar
same stuff?
Yeah. You know? And we just don't talk about it. Like, this is so gross. TMI.
Oh boy.
But like,
we're getting real now.
Fun fact, when you eat so many Tums, your poop turns white. Did you know that?
Whoa.
Yeah. So like that just shows you like that's the extent to this. Like I would throw up multiple times a day just from the heartburn. So like clearly something is wrong.
Dude.
Right? Clearly something is wrong.
Yeah.
So what do? They put me on a prescription for heartburn. Okay. So I was on a prescription for that. I was on like a version of metformin. What else? I feel like there was at least one other thing.
It's fine. You've
but anyway,
plenty.
But anyway, all of this to say at 26, at this point, at age 26, I was on like 6 different medications. Yeah. For all of these things that were just Band-Aids for symptoms. And I put this on social media not that long ago. And I said, you know, at 26, I had a BMI of 35, 36. I was on 6 different medications. And not once did any doctor or healthcare professional say, hey, this isn't okay. Yeah. Instead, it was, okay, well, here's what we can do. Here's what we can prescribe you. Yeah. And
that's super common.
Yeah.
Is they want to deal with the symptoms and not the root causes of things.
Yes.
Because it is so much easier, and this is a theme, it's so much easier to just treat that symptom with a drug or a new prescription or whatever it is. So like this is where I struggle with the healthcare care industry.
Like I said, this could be a whole separate episode too.
Is that they don't care about you.
No.
They care about the money that comes in and the money that's flowing through the business.
And I will say, like, side note on that. So when I posted that to my story and I said, you know, but CrossFit cared, I got a lot of people sending me private messages that they were not happy with that. And they said, you know, well, I'm a healthcare provider and that's garbage. And I never would do that to a patient. And I said, I understand that. Hear my heart. Like, I'm not saying that you're the problem. I'm saying the system is the problem.
Hey, listen, if you are participating when a drug rep brings in breakfast, you're part of the problem. I mean, that is the system and how it gets broken. Yeah. Right? Like if you're okay with those drug reps coming in and treating you in your office and, you know, the next thing you know, they've been really good to us. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start prescribing. Yep. You're part of the problem.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah. Oof. So fast forward, and I was just at a really low point mentally, physically. I felt like garbage. I was taking all of these medications, and now I had this little baby at home. I'm like, oh my gosh, somebody besides Clint now depends on me. And that was the moment that I realized, okay, something's got to give, because I am going to die either because of these physical issues or because of the mental issues that are coming from all of this. And that's when I was introduced. I was invited to, it was the 2022.
Sure.
No, 2023. It was a 2023 Open. I was invited to come watch and came into the gym, sat down, and I don't know. Like, I wasn't necessarily looking. I don't know what I was looking for. It wasn't CrossFit. I was not looking for CrossFit. I was not looking for something like this. If anything, I was thinking like, oh, I'll get a membership at the local gym, right?
Yeah.
But what I found when I came in here was just this thing that I'd been missing, and it was people, and it was this connection, and it was this group of people that were cheering each other on, whether they were doing ring muscle ups or they were lifting these 20-pound dumbbells. Like the excitement for both of them was through the roof. And going back and that feeling of needing to be validated and seeking approval, I saw in here, it was like, man, there was none of that. Like, everyone was in here doing something, and no matter what they were doing, it was awesome.
Yeah. And
that sucked me in. And so you were like, hey, when are you coming in for a class? And the rest is history.
Yeah. I mean, you picked a pretty intimidating time to come in and give it a go too. So for those of you that don't know, the CrossFit Open is a 3-week event that leads, basically it's the starting point to the CrossFit Games. Mm-hmm. So if you've ever Googled what is CrossFit or CrossFit Games or just CrossFit, you're probably going to see some pictures or some videos or some images of some like really fit dudes.
Really fit.
Some really fit women.
That have muscles that you like didn't know existed.
Yeah, that are just doing this crazy stuff. And I think a lot of people look at that, like they'll Google CrossFit and they'll look at that and go, well, I don't look like that and I can't do that. So CrossFit is not for me.
Yeah.
And that's just that tiny little sliver of CrossFit.
Yeah.
But the Open is it's a global competition. It's a global community event that almost every CrossFit gym gets involved in. Mm-hmm. For us, it's just it's a celebration of the community. It's also
your yearly check-in.
It's our yearly check-in, yeah. So that is when we get the opportunity to see, hey, this is what the last year of training and coming to class and taking care of my nutrition or not has culminated in.
Yes.
So each year you get to see like, hey, when I don't like to compare ourselves, but like when I look at that leaderboard, like where do I fall on that thing? Did I do better this year than I did last year? And that's something that I always look for in the Open. But these workouts that we're doing they're really tough, man. Tough. So you're walking in off the street.
Yeah. Well, and of course I had no idea what the Open was. Yeah. I didn't know it was this global thing. I thought it was like, this is just something cool that this gym does, I guess. Yeah. And so I came in and you were like, all right, well, when are you coming to class? I'm like, that's not happening. And then it did.
Why not? Why were you like,
I think because I saw these really fit humans that were doing these things in here. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I could never. Oh, I remember what it was. I saw wall walks.
Oh.
It was wall walks. And I remember thinking like, how are they doing that?
Yeah.
Like, how are they getting their feet up there and not falling over? Mm-hmm. And I remember thinking like, I can't do that. When we would go through a gymnastics cycle in PE in elementary school, like I would have my mom call me in sick because I can't get upside down.
So I have this like, I get that. I have this thought in my head because I'm so far removed from being a beginner, where someone new walks into the gym and let's say there are 10 people in here taking a class, or we're in the Open and there are 7 or 8 people going in a heat. And when they look, they just see all of it happening all at once. And it's really hard for that new person to be able to look at each individual and see like, well, wait a minute, what they're doing is different than what they're doing.
Yeah, I didn't see the scaling options.
Yeah,
I saw Jason doing ring muscle ups and like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, you kind of got pulled to like, Your eye gets drawn to the shiny.
At the same time, like I did see other people, like I mentioned earlier, I saw other people doing other things and they were still being cheered on. But your brain, that voice also tells you like, oh, but that wouldn't apply to you, you know?
I don't have the heat list from 2023, but my guess is that if Jason was over there doing ring muscle ups, then there was likely someone on the other side of the room doing maybe like some ring rows with their feet on the floor, right? Or maybe like a jumping pull up or some really modified or scaled variation of that movement.
So shout out to John Spitz because he was on that side of the gym, and I remember seeing just from one end to the other. And that was more encouraging, I think, than anything. Was like, this is for all of us.
Yeah. Well, John is 70.
Yeah.
70?
I don't know.
He's in his 70s. I'm sorry, John.
Dude moves.
Yeah.
He moves like he's not 70.
John has been one of our most consistent members over time. John had a massive heart attack some years ago, and boy, he was doing CrossFit before. You know, he was coming out of that sedentary lifestyle, right? Where he had spent a lot of time on his butt, a lot of time in his office, and decided that he needed to do something about that. So he joined CrossFit. Unfortunately, a year or two of CrossFit will not undo 30 or 40 years of poor lifestyle choices. It takes a little more time than that. But man, he had that heart attack, went and had surgery, came back within months and is like doing the thing.
And then jumped back into it.
Yeah,
I think that's what.
And right back and like is doing the thing. And that's super cool. Like,
so cool.
And, you know, and John is one of those people that we can look to and be like, man, that's what I want to be like when I grow up.
Oh yeah. And I've said this to him in passing before, but I look up to him so much. Yeah.
I mean, if I can do what he's doing when I'm his age, I made it.
If I can do what he's doing right now, I'm in a good spot. So yeah. Anyway, so jumping in, came to a class and was very fortunate like any coach that would have been here would have done the same, but you were the coach for that particular class and scaled it back. And I ended up leaving feeling really accomplished. Good. And I remember going home and I couldn't sleep because I was so excited.
Yeah.
I don't remember what we did. It was ring rows and I'm sure it was probably pull-ups and box jump overs.
You don't remember your first CrossFit workout?
I don't. I know it involved box jump overs and pull-ups because I did ring rows and box step ups and cleans because I did them with a PVC pipe. And I was like, I don't know how your elbows are supposed to move that way.
I remember my first CrossFit workout very clearly. I'll never forget it, but that's another story for another day.
That'll be the next episode.
So, okay, how long ago was that?
So that was, I feel like it was forever ago, but it really wasn't that long ago. It was 2023.
2023, so
it was
years ago.
February of 23.
And we're rolling into that time of year, 2025.
2026.
2026. Yeah. So oh my gosh. Yeah, 2026. What is happening?
Yeah, so it's been it's been a little over 2.5 years.
So do you mind telling us how much you weighed when you came in?
Yeah, when I came in, it was probably about that 205.
Okay.
205.
Had you lost weight before coming in?
Not really.
Okay.
No.
So you weighed 205 when you came in.
Uh-huh.
It's been a little over 2 years.
Yeah.
How much do you weigh today?
Today, like 130.
Who cares? Though, right? Like.
Well, what's way more exciting is how much more weight I can put on the bar now.
Yeah. So, and that's the point that I wanted to make, right? So there has been this weight loss.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people come in with that goal. Like that's their motive. They want to lose weight. I've heard it 1,000 times.
Oh yeah.
I want to lose weight. And that's great. You know, we want to help you do that too, because obviously that needs to happen in order for us to help you move those biomarkers, right? That weight does have to come off, but there's way more cool stuff.
Oh my gosh. I came in with, okay, I just want to lose a little bit of weight. Like my goal weight was like 170. Okay.
Yeah.
And, Yeah. Like that, man, I got so much more than I ever dreamed.
Yeah, I mean,
get.
I feel like there's just something so magical.
Yes.
When like the first time that you do something that you were like, man, I thought there was no way that I was going to be able to do that thing.
Wall walks.
Yeah.
I remember thinking, how does a human body walk up a wall like that? And now I do wall walk.
Yeah. It like nobody's business.
Nobody's business.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And got off all of the meds that had been prescribed. And now at 28, I'm so much healthier than I was.
Yeah. And like a different level of confidence.
Oh, yeah. Like I'm a completely different person.
Yeah.
Completely different person.
Yeah. The gym's trying to come alive.
I know.
So we're down, what, 30 pounds? 80 pounds. Man, let me math that. So you're down 80 pounds. So you've lost a lot of physical stuff. But you gained a lot of stuff as well, right? And now today, what do you do at the gym today?
Now I continue coming in more consistent than I ever have been. And now I have the true privilege of getting to coach other people. And I love it. Yeah,
you went down the rabbit hole, bro.
I drank the Kool-Aid so hard, it's not even funny.
You definitely put the cult in culture for sure. So you are level 2 CrossFit coach now?
Yes.
Right?
Yep. Working on getting the hours so I can take that level 3 test.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Which, I mean, there are a lot of level 1 CrossFit coaches out there. And when you go to your CrossFit level 1, I think every CrossFit athlete should go to their
oh my gosh, yes.
level 1.
100%.
I think anyone that's involved in training in any kind of way should go to the CrossFit level 1.
Even if you're not at a CrossFit gym.
Yeah.
Like if you just if you are a person that works out, you should go take your L1.
Yeah, I mean they're going to teach you the 9 basic movements or foundational movements. Spit it out, bro. They're going to teach you how to squat. They're going to teach you how to pick things up from the floor. They're going to teach you how to press things over your head. They're going to give you a little bit of nutrition guideline, and all of it's really solid, whether you're a CrossFitter or not. I think it's super crazy beneficial, but attending a CrossFit level 1 a coach does not make you.
No.
It is that next level of coaching and ability really comes when you go to that L2, and there's a small percentage of CrossFit coaches that go from L1 to L2 and make that jump. There's a 5-year period after you get your L1 before it expires.
And then most people just take the L1 again.
Yeah, and most people take the L1 again. How long did you have your L1 before you went and took your L2? 9 months. Yeah. Okay. Right. Like that.
8 months.
Yeah. And that, like, as I will call myself an OG CrossFitter. As an OG CrossFitter, like, that says a lot that you didn't wait 5 years before you decided, do I need to go back and take my L1 or do I want to try to go take my L2, to continue the pursuit of knowledge, continue the pursuit of leveling yourself up as a coach. I mean, that's a big deal. It's a really big deal. And even thinking about going for the L3, that's a big deal as well. So
yeah, the L3 is just like you're taking everything that you've learned and then are you living it? Yeah.
Yeah. When you become a CrossFitter and you're living the CrossFit lifestyle, I mean, that's where the knowledge for the L3 really starts to come in. And I think from a knowledge standpoint, you're pretty darn close. You're pretty darn close. The only thing that you lack is experience.
Yep. That's what we're working on.
And you get more and more and more of that every single day, right? So no, you're doing great. So what you're coaching now, you're doing the thing. If you could go back and talk to Molly from high school, that girl, what would you tell her today?
Your worth does not come from the way you look. And it definitely doesn't come from what the people around you think about you.
Yeah. And I mean, that's like pause, rewind, soak that in.
Yeah.
Because that is a message that we all need to hear.
That is a message that's something I share with every person I work with, that your worth does not come from your job. It does not come from the way you look. It does not come from what other people think about you or say about you. It 100%, I believe, comes from Jesus Christ. It does come from Jesus Christ. Regardless of what you believe, it does not come from other people's opinions of you.
Yeah, you are who he says you are.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the last question, we're going to go back to the way back, or a little way back. Same question, actually. So the girl sitting here today, what would she say to the girl who was sitting in the parking lot the day of her No Sweat intro?
That almost didn't come in.
Who almost didn't come in. Looking back on your time here at the gym, what would you tell that girl?
Oh my gosh,
years ago?
You have no idea what's about to happen.
Well, that seems frightening.
Man, yeah. So I did. I sat in the parking lot and I almost didn't come in. I was like, I almost texted you. I had it actually pulled up, and I was gonna be like, hey, something came up, can't come in. Man, everything is about to get so much better.
Yeah,
that's what I would tell me.
Yeah,
and that's what I would tell anybody that's getting ready to come in and meet with Matt or any one of our coaches for the first time and set foot in here. It is about to get so much better.
Well, that's a good spot to end.
Yep. Love it.
Thanks for dropping in with me.
Anytime.